at commissioner meetings. Why did you vote and push to censor free speech?
Because
She did ask earlier, but you didn't answer that question.
Because he's a liberal.
Truthfully,
No, if you look at the website.
all right, I don't know anything. You guys know everything.
But
I
it's
don't know
not.
anything. Okay. If you would read and tell me,
Misinformation.
you guys just tell me what you will know.
Everybody vote for Anthony Mastrostefano, Clark County, District F.
Good luck.
Against this communist.
Thanks for coming.
God.
See.
Thanks for
Yeah, it was
coming.
communist.
Actually not true, because I was at the Nye County Commissioners meeting. All the county commissioners got together. They had to hear the people, just like no different how we came over and we've given our feedback to you guys based on your knowledge to the will of the people, what we've been demanding. You actually do have the authority to end all these mandates and stand up to our governor. Just like San Diego County did that to Gavin Newsom. Elko County, also here in Nevada, also defied orders. They're a constitutional county now. In Nye County, I was Lander County as well, and I was also at Nye County. They also voted to defy orders against our governor. Why don't you just get together with your colleagues and just get together, open up Clark County?
Bravo. I'll talk to my
You didn't answer my
Okay.
question.
The mask or
Okay.
What ethnicity, to the guy in the hat, like what ethnicity are you?
This is a meeting to ask Commissioner Jones. You need to ask Commissioner Jones.
You say immigrants, illegal immigrants, they said you're going against that, like,
Okay.
at one point, somebody from your family came here, and it was probably much easier for them to come here at that time.
All right. Is there any other questions about the district? What's going on in the district? I know we had a few new people come in.
When are the mask mandates going to be over? Because we got protesters still protesting on Strip. They're going into casinos and stuff. I mean, like,
Okay,
you know.
I was shocked. Nobody said, you walk in there, nobody says anything. Nobody says nothing. You walk in there and act like something's wrong. Why aren't people feeding their own goddamn kids?
Jesus Christ.
I would like to know why. I would like to know why.
At our
I
taxpayers' money.
why? I don't make a lot of money. I'm feeding my kid. I
Come
want
on,
to know why.
Commissioner
I wanna know
Jones.
exactly
Commissioner
why.
Jones, respond.
I just want to know why. I want to understand
Right to your
why.
president,
I've been feeding
first
mine. I
off,
got two boys.
stop spending so much money on war.
I just want to know why people are picking
Good
up
point.
groceries all the time from
Giving
school.
$500,000 to illegals. Tax the casinos.
Well, I just
Come
wanna
on,
know.
Commissioner Jones.
So, first,
Well, liberals,
I already
they
gave
preach
it to
free
her.
speech, right?
You're right, I do.
The real difference is that you have a county that's 75% of the state's population. One county has too much control. You have the big casino donors and you have the fake labor unions. And that's what I think is really the elephant in the room. And until people are going to stand up to these and realize that what we're getting is a symptom, nothing's going to change.
How you doing? Justin. Good. All right, I do it. Justin.
Bill.
Justin.
Hey.
Hey, sir.
I'm scared to
Good.
touch people.
Okay.
Hi,
Sounds good.
Kelly.
Hi, Justin.
We need to restructure local government. Yeah.
All right.
And
You can talk to.
yeah, do a poll if people are happy with the Harry Reid Airport name change. You should do that.
So I appreciate y'all coming.
Well, if you don't mind, let's resume to the question I asked you in this building several months ago, and then Brittany Miller came in and somehow they just cut. So, yeah, $500,000 of our tax money went to people who are not here legally. I feel as if that you're representing foreign nationals. I mean, my family, they had to spend their own money to become legal. I think it's unfair. And honestly, you know, we're asking you to undo it or at least show us, look, Clark County's got one of the highest rates of unauthorized immigrants in the country. Many of these NGOs, they don't tell us what's going on. Politicians don't tell us what's going on. Take Sticker Bloom had the nerve to talk to me last Friday. I'm sure you saw that in the rally in the courthouse. All we ask is an audit. And we feel the immigration, the identity politics, we see a lot of red flags with it. And we feel that there's certain people that you're trying to essentially exclude or replace. And we want to know what's the long-term trend of all this.
Of immigration?
Well, why should we give $500,000 of county and another $500,000 by the state, Selena Torres was there, to give unauthorized immigrants? These are people who did not follow federal law. Now, this is the words of Mr. Gibson in 2019. You remember I testified. And now you approved it. And we want to know, because honestly, if we want to know why these people are, why you did it, and how is this fair to people like my relatives?
I can't really speak to your relatives. The county has authorized some funds to be used for defense of immigrants when they're in our criminal justice system. I think that everybody deserves to have their rights protected, whether you're a citizen or non-citizen. And so I think that given the flexibility of our dollars that we have from our marijuana fees, that it was a good use of our funds.
Well, it was supposed to go to schools, but I'd like for legal immigrants to get the funds too. So if I have a relative that comes from Tehran into Las Vegas, I'd like her to get the money too. Okay, yes, I know she probably has more money for lawyers. I understand that, but she legally came. All of us legally came. I know it's tough, but it's like if there's a licensing exam and I pass, I get the license. If you don't pass, you shouldn't get the answers. Otherwise, what's the point of citizenship? What's the point of having borders?
Right. If your sister gets arrested, then she's entitled to a public defender, so she does with that.
Hey, as long as it's fair.
Okay. Definitely. Let me know if your sister gets arrested.
Well, Tehran's pretty nice. You should go visit. I don't think they want to come. It's looking better than Vegas, though.
This construction out here, how do we make sure we're not hiring illegal immigrants?
Which construction?
The road construction and all the public works. How do we know we're not hiring illegal immigrants? Because when we're hiring illegal immigrants, basically, how do we make sure we're not hiring illegal immigrants?
Which construction?
The road construction and all the public works. How do we know we're not hiring illegal immigrants? Because when we're hiring illegal immigrants, basically we're telling more illegal immigrants that you can come from Clark County and we're going to give you tax dollars from our own county and we're going to reward you for being here illegally. We're going to employ you, which from what I understand, it's a federal offense. The Department of Homeland Security says it's a federal offense when illegal immigrants use a false social security number. So my thing is, as a county commissioner, what are you doing to stop from hiring illegal immigrants?
E-Verify.
Contractors are responsible for auditing their own
What are
payroll.
What are you for hiring Americans first over an illegal immigrant?
I think that we should definitely hire people who are citizens to do the work. Yeah, sure.
So what are you doing to do that?
I haven't heard that it's a serious problem here, so I'm doing nothing.
You haven't heard.
No,
Mr. Jones, it's a serious problem. I work in
Because
the
you say
construction
it?
field. No,
Okay.
sir, because I work in the construction field, and I know there's dozens, thousands. I mean, do you know, as a county commissioner, do you have any idea how
Okay,
many
you asked me
illegal
about
immigrants?
public works projects. Kaizad, have you heard it's a big problem? We have illegals working in our public works project?
Well, maybe you should tax remittances, the money they send abroad. You
I don't know what
voted
that means.
to raise sales taxes. When people send money on Western Union, they should put a tax.
I don't have the taxation authority other than.
Well, you
legislature
voted to
provides.
raise our taxes.
Only because the legislature authorized me to. Otherwise, I don't have anything. Tax on remittances. I don't have
Gibson
that.
and well, it's the big money casino donors, the unions, and the one county monopoly. I think Clark County needs to break up. We need to restructure our local government.
I don't have any control of that, so if you want to do that, then go see.
Well,
I didn't come here to discuss politics, I came here to discuss.
They do. This whole town is a big game.
Yeah.
It's fear for people to move here.
Yeah, and let's do a poll that.
You're not supposed to say that.
Okay.
Who is they in that
Tell them
statement?
the big trick.
Who is they in that statement?
I'm just telling you, the way this place works, the casinos are the boss here.
Two notices of maladministration, one regarding item number 66, which appears to be a money-making scheme to steal people's children without authority and due process of law. The other one was regarding resolution of censorship. So you had posted on your Twitter, which your name on Twitter is Justin #GetTheVaxJones. You had posted how in this episode, Randy sits down with Liliana and Raquel, who share their experiences of getting COVID-19, how misinformation is harming our communities, and why vaccines are important. However, We served you with this resolution of censorship, and it says, every citizen may freely speak, write, and publish his sentiments on all subjects, being responsible for the abuse of that right. And no law shall be passed to restrain or abridge the liberty of speech or of the press. Article 1, Section 9 of the Nevada Constitution. The people shall have the right to freely assemble together, to consult for the common good, to instruct their representatives, and to petition the legislature for redress of grievances. Censoring the people's right to assemble, consult, instruct, and redress their grievances is a violation of Article 1, Sections 9 and 10 of the Nevada Constitution and the First Amendment of the Constitution for the United States of America. The forced wearing of a self-suffocating medical device, mask, upon our children, teenagers, adults, and our elderly constitutes child abuse and elder abuse, a form of involuntary servitude. A mandate of an experimental vaccine or other medical procedure without informed consent is a form of involuntary servitude. In violation,
How long are you going to read? Just read it.
in violation of the 13th Amendment of the Constitution for the United States of America. My question is, where are you at with these illegal measures? The mandate.
I fully support vaccination.
No, I'm talking about the First Amendment is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. So with regards to the misinformation, simply want to make sure that people are getting all of the information. You guys are putting your information out there. County wants to make sure that that the information is out there that is recognized science by 98% of the medical community.
You guys ain't following science, so
2%, that's great. But
you're not following science.
98% of
I mean, the desperation is not helping. That's all we
I have a
know.
question regarding,
do I have what?
do you know the ingredients of it?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Do you want to know why? Because
Do I
they don't
wanna
come
know
with
why?
ingredients. They're intentionally left blank. All of them. Moderna, AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson.
The label's too
All
small.
intentionally left blank.
Okay.
Look at the stock price.
I also served you with a notice of maladministration
And I have no idea
regarding
what
the
that
audits.
is. I don't know what a notice of maladministration is.
Well, it's an affidavit,
Okay.
so I will go ahead and read parts of this for you. It is the will, order, and demand of your affiant that a full forensic audit of Clark County be conducted immediately for the purpose of due diligence by ensuing integrity and accuracy. The forensic audit shall be a full and complete of all paper ballots, both in person and absentee, all machines, related software, ballots, routers, and internet devices. The people of Nevada want, in addition, a review of the examination, certification, testing report for ballot reader equipment and related software, the escrow purchase agreement and addendums to the contract of the Dominion voting machines, and other election-related manuals, materials, and systems. The forensic audit shall make provisions for Democrat, Republican, and independent representatives. Furthermore, we the people demand that the legislature work with the people to secure a well-balanced forensic audit. Results of the forensic audit shall be made available to the public upon completion. This is an affidavit and contract and change of terms. Any government official that believes these claims are untrue must respond within 5 days upon receipt with constitutional provisions sworn under the penalty or perjury by affidavit or rebut each claim.
Okay. I don't know.
Point by point, showing where you have
Can I say
constitutional
something?
authority to ignore these rights of the people. Any government official who decides to ignore or to suppress this affidavit by not responding by the
If there's vote stealing going
terms
on, why did the Virginia governor race go to the
as
Republicans?
set forth agrees to
I
pay
don't-
$10,000 per day for failing to immediately make provisions for forensic.
Do you have the power within the county to do an audit? Do the county commissioners have the power within themselves to do an audit within Clark County?
I don't know the answer to that. I know we certified the election to the Secretary of State, and the Secretary of State authorized the results per statute. So I don't know the answer to that. I can tell you we're not going to do it.
Well, why would you not? Why not?
Because there's no basis for auditing the results.
Well, there is basis
We're-
in the
I
affidavit
understand,
of
you believe there's a
maladministration.
basis, I don't believe there's a basis, my 6 colleagues on the county commission don't believe there's a basis, the county manager doesn't believe there's a basis.
But you represent us.
The-
Yes, you work for us.
You
So,
represent
We're your
yourself.
constituents.
You represent
Okay,
yourself.
so is it, so whatever, every constituent, whatever they say, then we're just obligated to do
You had
whatever every
votes flying
constituent.
You're
around in the
obligated.
wind. I was
Yeah.
taking pictures of votes at apartment complexes
Yeah.
around town. There was votes everywhere. I could have
Why we have
voted 20
commissioners?
times.
Stavros Anthony and April Becker, yeah.
Mr. Jones.
That's
so
a
you
shame
agree-
when it
It is,
is
it is legal though. It is legal and it is 100% legal and it is, we have the power to do it. Is that right? It is legal, right?
I don't know how.
You don't know if it's legal?
Well, you're an attorney, you should know this.
It is legal. Mr. Jones, I'm asking you,
Okay,
is it
well, if you're
legal?
telling me it's legal,
Audits are 100% legal. They're done by the state. We believe you have the power to do it.
Yesterday, and I don't think she has any interest in doing an audit, so. I think she
Well,
doesn't have a choice.
she controls,
The people have
you
an
control
interest
Clark
in doing
County.
an audit.
We're not talking about the state.
You
We're
work for the
talking.
people, sir.
Did you see
work
the
for
results
us.
that came out of Arizona?
You said it was the state, so I talked to the Secretary of State yesterday, and she doesn't want
I'm
to.
talking-
So back here.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I said my piece. We've been hearing about this for, half a year now that, things have been stolen and you didn't get your way. You'll probably get your way in the midterm because Republicans vote more than Democrats. And, let's not kid ourselves what you're trying to do. You're trying to take away people of color's right to vote for what they
Not at all.
like.
Not at
People
all.
of
We're trying to
color?
show that
If you
stereotype.
want to not wear masks, why do you live in a metro that's like 2+ million people?
And I'm glad
If you
you
want
brought
to
that
live,
up.
if you want to live in an
So,
island,
spell to
live in an island.
Everybody, we're gonna dial it down.
And they don't have roads that can support this shit. Don't you know that?
You don't know?
You don't know that?
No, I guess I don't know
I want-
anything. I'm talking a lot
you know,
of.
Well,
I'm throwing out
they
numbers,
can't
I'm
have all
pulling them
these.
out of
They
nowhere.
can't have all these new people move here without some roads. I don't
I
understand.
know that.
Well, we still have immigration going on.
You know,
Sure don't want to know.
I like a nice
I don't want
I mean, other people want to speak. I'll let other
Alright.
people speak.
Thank you, Commissioner Justin Jones. So, I heard the rumor that the commissioners are trying to impose vaccine mandates where they're trying to get everybody vaccinated. You're just seeing all over the world, like Australia, they're trying to vaccinate everybody, Canada, England and stuff. How are you just going to get everybody vaccinated? I mean, if people are just going to keep going out protesting in the streets, people can't even make a living, their businesses are getting shut down. I mean, how is that going to be enforced?
I'm not gonna make everyone get vaccinated.
We're not doing that.
Our county is gonna
Okay.
make vaccines available along with federal government and private partners like CVS and Walgreens.
Why is it being allowed to be enforced like by the raiders though, or like private businesses to say, hey, we got to check
They
you?
didn't enforce it for Ice Cube, and there was a couple of rappers.
But they have to honor religious
For
exemptions.
private businesses except for when you don't like it.
Yeah, but they have
I heard the
a
famous
accommodation
people don't
open to the
wear
pub.
masks there, though.
Accommodation to the public is what they have. They have a right to.
You don't have a right to go to Raiders games. So. There's patrol cars back there because
They're not being
they
used.
rotate. But,
They're understaffed.
They're being
Okay.
used. We just have different shifts.
right.
Well, there's a shortage of, you guys have a shortage, right, of officers on the force?
I am not the one that's going to decide whether or not we have a shortage. You can talk to our sheriff if you want.
I've talked to the sheriff. He's saying that there is a shortage.
Well, then you have your answer. You're not asking me a question.
Well, I'm saying tell him that, though. He wants to know why police cars aren't being used.
Nobody, we don't see the police anymore,
I
okay?
apologize that it seems that way. We
Well,
are
it's
out on the
true.
streets.
This is-
We are working. Okay, you
We
want
would
me to answer
like,
the
we would like
question
to
or
get
not?
the truth from everybody.
Right.
If I could
Stop walking,
suggest something a little bit more
information.
ambitious, it's that it's not a
We
problem
do
that can
have
be
police
solved by.
on shifts that go out in their vehicles, and we do address calls that we are dispatched to with dispatch. and
We're all doing very
I want to
effectively.
respond.
Okay, well, I apologize you feel that.
I want to respond to why we're seeing a lot of accidents, okay? I want everybody in the world to know that Clark County has among the worst urban planning in the world.
I agree
Okay?
with
You have little squish-squashed homes, and it's very car dependent.
that. I don't agree with that.
These high-capacity arterial, they're like highways and streets in one. The zoning, the street layouts, the building layouts, it's not
overcrowded.
working. And this is why I mentioned in the Transform Clark County, get rid of these codes that allow this kind of development to happen. We need to look back at downtown, the grid streets, We need to allow more of that to be built because.
Well, let's take a look at this road right here, Spring Mountain. You know how dangerous it is for the kids to go from one part to the other? It's 2 lanes.
Why are people driving 40 and 45s?
I don't
That's a
think-
new thing around town.
Because the way
That's
they built
only
these
been,
roads.
that's a new thing. That was
Everybody
not
speeds in
happening
this
before we
city.
got all this influx
Everybody
of
here
people
probably
here.
sped while
Now
they
it's
came
like
here today in
goofball
their
out there.
car.
Okay, let the
Nobody's
commissioner.
Safer communities.
Commissioner, what do you think? Please, because it's his.
I think that there's a lot that can be done in order to improve traffic safety. That's why I'm joining with my colleague Michael Naft to push forward with the Office of Traffic Safety.
Good for you.
Clark County. I think that'll be something that's really beneficial, working with our Public Works team, with the Regional Transportation Commission, to address what we're seeing. And we're already, as of last month, we are at more pedestrian and vehicle deaths in Clark County than ever before, and that was as of October. So we have an epidemic going on right now with too many vehicle crashes, too many people speeding, too many people drinking and driving, and so
How about all these cones laying around?
Amen.
Why,
Yeah.
no, how about getting those out of the way?
So what? So
That's
the
a-
streets can
that's
be
a-
wider
that's a
so you can
scam.
drive
That's a
faster?
scam.
I
I'm
mean,
happy to address that also.
I'd sure like to know about that.
Sure. So
Commissioner, I believe that.
can I answer his question?
Sure, go ahead.
So with regards to cones, obviously Southwest Valley is growing a lot, and you see them in other places too. As a result of some of the issues that were raised, many other jurisdictions here in Southern Nevada, they have what's called a lane rental fee. Essentially, developers have to pay for every day that they have their cones up blocking traffic. And so we didn't have one of those. Working with our Public Works team, we went and implemented lane rental fees so that when those developers are leaving their cones out there, that they're going to pay for it. We also, working with RTC, have implemented a system where it can automatically detect when cones are out when they shouldn't be, and so that we know where to improve enforcement for when they're leaving those cones out. Cones are going to be part of Southern Nevada for a long time. We're just going to keep growing for a long time, so I'm not going to tell you that it's going to magically disappear, because it won't. But we are implementing technology.
I heard they're cheaper to put on the street than they are to store. That's what I
don't know why we don't just privatize the roads.
No, that's
If I could,
that's a natural
if I could.
Walking is hostile in Vegas, more so than any other metro, practically, in America.
Yeah, horrible urban planning.
And I believe, just Mr. Jones, that you want to do the right thing, but you're still stuck in this pattern of like engineering thought, that you staple highway code to regular roads, and you think it's normal because it's been like that for like 50, 60 years in Clark County, and it's not your fault because you're just picking up from where somebody else left off.
Around the world.
What I would suggest for that particular school, I looked at it on Google Street View the other day. If you're ambitious, is to build a median in the middle of the road, so it slims it down.
That's what I just talked about. Yeah.
Guys, I actually already
Great.
proposed that. So.
Yeah.
Very good. That's a good first thing.
Go to Savannah.
To try. And everybody loves to speed and is encouraged to speed when the lanes are so wide. You have 12 feet of space for each lane. Now it's 3 lanes. That's 36 feet. Then 36 feet on the other side. Then you have a turning median lane.
Crashes, too many people speeding, too many people drinking and driving, and so
How about all these cones laying around?
Amen.
Why,
Yeah.
no, how about getting those out of the way?
So what? So
That's a scam.
Drive
That's a
faster?
scam.
I
I'm
mean,
happy to address that also.
I'd sure like to know about that.
Sure. So
Commissioner, I believe that.
can I answer his question?
Sure, go ahead.
So with regards to cones, obviously Southwest Valley is growing a lot, and you see them in other places too. As a result of some of the issues that were raised, many other jurisdictions here in Southern Nevada, they have what's called a lane rental fee. Essentially, developers have to pay for every day that they have their cones up blocking traffic. And so we didn't have one of those. Working with our Public Works team, we went and implemented lane rental fees so that when those developers are leaving their cones out there, that they're going to pay for it. We also, working with RTC, have implemented a system where it can automatically detect when cones are out when they shouldn't be, and so that we know.
Okay, so a couple of things. You talk about climate change and housing, okay? Well, why don't you address the real root cause of the problem? And I know you don't have power over this. It is the lack of construction, the Federal Reserve, and Wall Street banks that's pumping up home prices. We're in a bubble, and
Stop selling the water. You sell the water to different states.
good point. But may I finish? May I finish? Please, let me finish. Okay. Okay. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. So, the whole thing about climate change. Look, if you want to stop it, it's the loans that's being given out of cars and homes and all that that's allowing people to consume. It's these codes in our land use that's making us car dependent. That's, if you want to reduce emissions, do that. And I think your solution, I'm not saying it's terrible, I think it's just a Band-Aid. We want to know why these home prices are shooting up. We should have learned our lessons from the last time. And we're in a housing bubble. And you know what I fear? The market's going to blow up. Your revenues are going to be gone down. And this is what I told you 2 years ago before the pandemic. You're going to make our sales taxes 10%.
Until the next disaster, which will be about 6 months away.
Take a look at
Please do.
different
The reason, excuse me, the reason why I'm here as a grandparent, mother, and a community member is 20 plus years ago. I witnessed a 5-year-old killed.
I'm so sorry.
And it was not at the regular hours
Yep.
where people would maybe be more cautious.
Right.
There was a faint crosswalk. We advocated, we asked for them to come out and paint it so it's visible. And that little girl was hit while crossing the street because she used the playground as a park with a 14-year-old brother. And no accountability happened to the driver, even though she was going 45 in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. You know what the response was? She shouldn't have been in the street. Thing is, that crosswalk should have been there, and there would have been some justice for that child. So please work quickly. Don't wait for there to be a tragedy. Because 20 years later, I'm still dealing with that. And my children witnessed that.
I appreciate that, and I will tell you that I've been on the opposite end of those tragedies that have resulted in action. At Cimarron and Blue Diamond, in front of Wet and Wild, and it was great that we got the stoplights up there after the fact, but it didn't save those kids' lives.
We're talking about paint on pavement right now.
We're trying to be more proactive. I know
Stone.
Kaizad and I have been out
Yeah.
in
The
the
street.
community identifying.
We saw paint was able to put on many streets all last year.
I told the RTC.
This is just a matter of public safety for children, all
So
children.
just so you know, we're because we know that this is a specific issue that we need to focus more attention on, and Public Works is very busy with building streets and everything else, and Metro has to respond to crimes. So we're forming the Office of Traffic Safety, and this will.
My friend, you should talk to the Boring Company or do personal rapid transit. We're in the 21st century, man. Just do a poll. Do a poll of the people of Clark County, registered voters. If they're happy with McCarran Airport, if the name changed to Reid.
Is your arm getting tired of carrying around your phone all the time?
Yes.
You get like hand cramps?
Not too much, but I do get a little bit nervous.
I feel for you, sir.
I appreciate it, but
Vegas.
well, you know, and that's the thing. No. How about MLK? Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King. You can do that. You can do any of the commissioners. We have a Bruce Woodbury Beltway. We might as well have, somebody who served. How about Chris G? Chris G would be a good person. But Harry Reid, are you sure? I mean, that's the thing. But it makes me think, well, this is why things are the way they are. This is why people are not happy. Because, well, I see the true colors, Ta-da! Well, sure, no problem. But
instead of spending all that money on the airport name change, we could just give some of that money to the people that lost their businesses during the lockdown. They don't have a chance to open back up.
We have $50 million set aside from the ARPA money for.
We should have a Middle Eastern council, just like Asian council. We should have a for blacks. Oh, no. Well, that just there's not that many of us. Gambling does scare us away. You know, if we had Sharia law, the immigration would be done overnight. Gambling would be illegal.
That's okay.
Yeah.
He wants a Middle Eastern council like the API.
Middle Easterns are counted as white. Hey, I appreciate you coming.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not with everything you say, but you're, I think that your ideas on streets of this are okay.
Well, hey, you know, at least we're all over the place.
I'm not sure about the Tesla tunnels. That's a dead end for sure.
I know, but again, that's the better chance of happening. I mean, we're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars in the light rail, and what is that going to get us?
Have you actually been to LBCC?
And then you have any kind of.
Yes, the meetings. I go there many times.
Have you tried the tunnel?
First of all, do you want to be on film?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just don't want to.
I mean, okay, the Tesla tunnel that they recently built. It's a half-mile dig. It can't go faster than 35 miles per hour. They're not automated like they promised. It's not a people mover like they promised. It's going to be like 10 plus.
But you can replace the cars. Yes, you can. You have the underground infrastructure.
Everything that this man says is a lie.
With the Hyperloop.
Has always been.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
You know, go ahead and take a Tesla Model 3 for a test drive. See how the autonomous drive works.
But the monorail thing, they keep saying, oh, we're going to take it to the airport. We're going to take it to the West Wing. It has never happened. Finally, something is being done.